how to use blurred realities. Blurred realities are a very cool technique that comes from hypnotic storytelling, particularly the covert hypnotic storytelling that was invented way back in the day by Dr. Milton Erickson. Hypnotic storytelling is like regular storytelling, but embedded into the linguistics and into the structure of the stories themselves is a lot of deeply hypnotic technology. Today we'll be going over the blurred realities part. This is a lot of fun, and you can start to use this technique today on your friends or maybe some strangers. Blurred realities rely on what's called the quotes pattern. The quotes pattern is another trick from covert hypnosis, but you can use it on its own. Let's imagine that you are a very pretty girl that I'm sitting next to at a bar or a club somewhere. I look over at you and say, "Hey, you see that guy out there in the yellow shirt? That guy reminds me of my old roommate. That guy was absolutely fearless when talking to pretty ladies." This guy would walk right up to a pretty lady, look her directly in the eye, not even introduce himself, and say, "I don't know what it is about you, but I would love to take you back to my place and give you a 3-hour orgasm." Do you believe that? I could never say anything like that. Now, to make this even more hypnotic, you surround the quotes pattern with a few different characters within a nested collection of stories. You start to tell a story about character A. And then in your story about character A meets another character, character B. And then in this story, character A is saying a bunch of stuff to character B. And while you're telling this story, while you're talking about what character A is saying to character B, you're also saying the same thing to the person you're telling the story to. So the person you're telling the story to will be a little bit confused about who specifically is saying what to whom. They'll kind of consciously know that it's a story about somebody A telling something to somebody B. But they'll also kind of unconsciously feel that it's you telling a story to them. This will not only blur the realities, but it will also blur their brain a little bit. And blurring brains can be a lot of fun, especially if the brains get loose and go around blurring all kinds of other things, like your memory of what is going on here is starting to fade significantly. I learned about this technique a long time ago in a seminar I took. The seminar teacher was telling us a story about the first time he learned about this technique while he was working with his self-help coach a long time ago. And this self-help coach looked at him and said, "Blurred realities are very powerful, especially when you combine them with embedded commands. Because when you develop enough rapport and you start to introduce blurred realities containing the quotes pattern, it's really, really easy to hypnotize people into doing pretty much anything. The best part is because these stories are so well nested together, the listener will pretty much forget most of what is going on here. But these commands, the commands that are in the middle of the story, they will be remembered subconsciously, which means you can give people commands, pretty much any kind of commands you want. They won't remember these commands, at least consciously, but subconsciously, they will feel compelled to act on these commands. They will feel compelled to follow these commands. And they will strangely remember these commands as coming from their own brain, which means you can command people to do pretty much anything, and they will follow these commands as if they came from their own brains. Maybe you're starting to wonder now what kinds of people you'd like to give commands to. Maybe you can even imagine some people now, some people that you know, some people that you don't know yet, that you will have a lot of fun being able to give commands to these people, knowing they will follow these commands. This will give you the confidence to walk up to people you know, or maybe even strangers, and start to tell them stories that contain all these techniques, and hidden inside are all these commands that you can give to people, knowing that they will follow these commands, knowing that those people will do whatever you want them to do, knowing that those people will not only do what you want them to do, but they will remember doing those things as if it was their own idea. This is why he started to practice these techniques. Because she used these so well on him, he wanted to teach others how to use these techniques. And because he taught them to me, I am now teaching them to you, which means you can practice the quotes pattern today. You can also practice the blurred realities pattern today, or at least when you come up with enough goofy stories that have a lot of people inside these stories that like to say goofy things to each other. And once you learn how to play with people's minds, once you learn how to alter people's consciousness, once you understand how to slip ideas into other people's brains, you can have a lot of fun with other people. Interesting people, gorgeous people, sexy people, wealthy people, highly connected people, or any kind of people that you want. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment. That way you can always discover more ideas about how you can continuously improve your communication. To learn more, please visit mindpersuasion.com.